Hi, welcome to She Spice. You could imagine that Jerry Seinfeld, being one of the interesting standard joke artists who's become famous without resting on indecencies or S-jokes, would be excessively good to toss conceal, yet the star of television's most popular show about nothing has certainly had his minutes throughout the long-term, and rollerblading Seinfeld and Shash Lonstein became newspaper regulars, and Howard Harshgrain without a doubt. Since ascending to distinction during the 1980s stand-up circuit, Seinfeld has gone. After all that, from vivified kids' films and outline-busting pop divas to New York satire club proprietors and television show sovereignty. And there's one individual comic whose simple notice can drive this glad New Yorker genuinely crazy. Gracious, I got your espresso, goodness here. Let me in. It's on me. Seinfeld might outshine RuPaul's race group with regards to tossing shade, from sketchy decisions in his dating life to assuming praise where it wasn't expected. He's done some obscure things. These episodes could make you see the Seinfeld star in an entirely different light and have even driven individuals to contrast him with Diddy. So how did he respond? That was so significant. It's people. This is about people. You simply call me honey. Jerry Seinfeld liked himself somewhat of a Roger Ebert in 2014 when he took to Twitter to survey that year's chiefly enlivened film in light of kid structure hinders. However, rather than offering a go-ahead or disapproval, the entertaining man appeared to be more keen on scrutinizing its source material. Seinfeld, in fact, blamed the Lego film for taking one of his jokes. He tweeted, "I think Lego Motion Pictures took my Superman, who generally dislikes Green Lamp, a buy from AMX. Seinfeld and Superman web episodes, any other person get that?" He then added, "I'm happy they did. It was a tomfoolery bit of Lego my material." One more comic before long got the discussion together with his own novel kind of consolation. Ricky Geese answered, "I know how you feel. Schindler's Rundown took a great deal of my initial stuff. You were so tense then, at that point." However, Seinfeld later guaranteed that he participated in the Lego film. He was unable to oppose a last piece of shade. Adding a story would have been a pleasant touch. However, you likely wouldn't get Jerry Seinfeld impacting TikTok, or We Are Who We Are while cruising all over with entertainers. As a matter of fact, the star freely reprimanded Keisha a few times prior to guaranteeing he had no clue about who she was. The show unfurled in 2017 at the Kennedy Place during the public evening of Chuckling and Tune, while Seinfeld was being evaluated by 94.7 New FM. DJ Tommy McFly, superfan Keisha, was hindered from requesting an embrace, but this time Seinfeld answered, and Keisha was similarly ineffective in her next two endeavors because individuals are drained more often than not. "I love you so much, and thanks for the embrace. Pass, please." "Not this time, a little one better believe it." "No way." After Keisha at last got the clue, Seinfeld added further affront by telling McFly, "I don't have any idea who that was," notwithstanding the reaction from Keisha's fans. Seinfeld stayed unrepentant in a talk with extra making sense of "I don't embrace a complete more bizarre, I need to meet somebody to make a proper acquaintance. I got to begin someplace. I'm 63. I don't have the foggiest idea about each pop star, and I don't know everybody." BuzzFeed took in the most difficult way possible in 2014 that getting some information about race is a dangerous move during a fragment for CBS. Earlier today, a journalist addressed why a large portion of the visitors on his show, humorists and vehicles getting espresso, were white men. To say Seinfeld was not entertained is putting it mildly. Seinfeld terminated back, "It truly irritates me. Individuals think satire is the census or something. It must address the genuine pie diagram of America. Whoever minds that, it's simply amusing and entertaining is the world that I live in. You're entertaining. I'm intrigued. You're not amusing. I'm not intrigued. I care very little about orientation, race, or any such thing. To me, it's the enemy of satire." PC gibberish. The press wasn't merciful about his refusal to examine the matter. This wasn't when Seinfeld first confronted analysis for an absence of racial mindfulness in 1998. The Los Angeles Times noticed that the African American population had little interest in the Seinfeld finale referring to the practically absolute shortfall of my characters on the New York-based sitcom. During the 1990s, only one sitcom could equal Companions as the 10 years greatest hit and as per its driving man. Seinfeld assumed a critical role in the focal point's stupendous achievement. Lisa Kudrow met Jerry Seinfeld at a Hollywood party during a visit with the everyday monster. I said greetings, and he said the pleasure is all mine. I said, why thank you, and the entertainer who broadly played Phoebe Morgasbord and Companions made sense of that Seinfeld was alluding to the way that reruns of the first time of Companions were planned after the evaluations. Juggernaut Seinfeld that mid-year at first, the early experiences of Ross, Rachel, and the rest had gathered strong yet unremarkable evaluations while following Distraught About You Anyway. When the show was recirculated after the sixth time of Seinfeld's prominence, Zora Kudrow was glad to recognize this lift, not to remove anything from the composition on Companions, the cast, or how old buddies truly were. However, in the main season, our appraisals were okay in the city we most loved. Kristen Davis might have continued to be essential for one of the world's most famous groups of four. However, back in 1997, the possibility of being radiated into 38 million homes was naturally overwhelming for the youthful entertainer, and her co-star at the time didn't precisely reassure her. Davis originally showed up on Seinfeld in the episode The Pothole playing Jerry's sweetheart Jenna in the wake of going through 6 distinct tryouts just to get the little job she was naturally apprehensive about shooting before a live studio crowd, reviewed how Jerry Seinfeld exacerbated the situation right before activity. Jerry hangs over and murmurs 38 million, and I'm like, what? And he says 38 million people are watching. How are you treating me? I was like, I can't work like this. He recently felt that was so entertaining. Davis added that every time he got an opportunity, he'd resemble 38 million gracious. And I'm similar to wow. I'm so apprehensive. So that is the way Jerry found his tomfoolery, startling the visitor stars to death. Davis can't have been too scarred by the experience, however, as she acknowledged an oddball return to the sitcom a while later in the episode The Spread Shave she shared. I was simply so eager to get to return and be on the set. I resembled, yes, Jerry Seinfeld might have delighted in quite possibly his greatest late accomplishment through a show that started on the web. However, the comics and vehicles getting espresso star lacks the capacity to deal with the people who find distinction exclusively through the web-based world while showing up at a forthright occasion for the real-time feature pop in 2015. Seinfeld was given some information about his perspectives on video sharing stages, and he didn't mince his words as per the Hollywood Correspondent. He said, the less there is, the better. I would rather not see this. We have a monster trash bin called YouTube for client-created content, and we're attempting to produce a little more significant content. Seinfeld contended that the big time ought to just be for those with recognizable ability, yet he views himself as at the highest point of its pyramid. He additionally guaranteed that his web series is infinitely better than anything else out there. Individuals don't expect quality programming on the web, and we feel like we're in front of a ton of spots. You can be in a similar world as feline recordings yet convey an extraordinary demo. For the promoter Jerry Seinfeld and Jessica Sclair appear to have one of the more stable relationships in Hollywood. However, their starting points were very commendable. Scar had recently strolled down the path with another person when she started succumbing to Seinfeld. The pair initially met in 1998 at Manhattan's Reebok Sports Club, where Sclair was working out. Seinfeld was in a split second, stricken, and asked her out, clearly uninformed that she just got back from her wedding trip with Eric Netherlander. I let him know I didn't think this was the perfect opportunity for me to be engaged with anyone. She later wrote in a New York Times piece that they kept on keeping in contact, and in the end, she confessed all about her married life in something like 2 months. Scar sought legal separation, portraying her union with Netherlander as hopelessly broken. Not long after she started freely dating Seinfeld, justifiably Netherlander was angry when he saw pictures of them kissing. He told the New York Post that I was controlled, deceived, and totally surprised by Jessica's unfaithfulness. Jerry and Joe Rogan have no regard for good qualities, they married each other. What shocked individuals significantly more was that 38-year-old Jerry Seinfeld began dating a 17-year-old as well as dating a recently hitched lady. Seinfeld's sketchy relationship history, likewise, includes dating a 17-year-old when he was almost 40 in 1993. The entertaining man started dating shows, Lonstein, a youngster 21 years his lesser, after they met on a seat in Focal Park. A sweetheart's life spins around home. They got schoolwork, homeroom, and they need to take off from home. Live with their 38-year-old big-name sweetheart. In May 1993, Jerry Seinfeld detected a young lady in New York City Focal Park who got his attention, and he requested our telephone number. That young lady was 17-year-old Chose Lonstein. In spite of Seinfeld at first minimizing the relationship, saying they just went to a cafe, it immediately turned out to be more serious. Sometime thereafter, Seinfeld visited Lonstein George Washington College, and she made regular outings to Los Angeles, where he resided while shooting. Seinfeld-Lonstein even moved to UCLA to be nearer to him anyway. Their relationship finished in 1997. As per Onstein, she maintained that more opportunity should go around and play, while Seinfeld was drenched in his requesting work plan. Subscribe She Spice for more video.